Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo J. Karjalainen, and it's good to have you along. You can call me this guy if my name is tricky to pronounce. Today I'm taking a look at 10 reasons why Stevie Vai is an absolutely killer guitar player. So I'll be right back after this intro. Okay, so today I'm taking a look at Stevie Vai and why he's such a great guitar player, and I have 10 reasons for you, and maybe one more, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, let's get going. Number 1. Yes, here's a guy who designed this guitar, and he designed the Ibanez Gem with the monkey grip, and everywhere from guitars to amps, he's innovated, and he's innovated when it comes to playing as well. Yes, the crazy whammy bar stuff that he does, that's just one example of the innovation. All the crazy sounds he did on Passion and Warfare. All that kind of stuff, it's just mind-boggling how innovative this guy has been. Yeah, it's crazy. He's a real innovator. So, that's number 1. Number 2 is quirkiness. Yes, he's a bit odd, he is. He doesn't just play a note, he plays it very strangely. So where some people might just play a note, he might slide up to it, or actually he might slide down to it in a really strange way. Yes, here's a guy who doesn't just play the normal, regular way. He does really weird stuff with his guitar. It's quirky, and yeah, that's number 2. Number 3 is something that he definitely, at least partly, got from Mr. Frank Zappa, and that's a sense of humor, and that's brilliant, in my opinion, in every guitar player or musician for that matter. He can be really funny. Sadly, I think that's taken a bit of a step back, but especially the earlier stuff, the stuff on Flexible, was really funny stuff. But he has glimpses of that still, and it's a great thing. And I think everyone would benefit from at least a bit of humor, and Stevie Vai certainly has that. Number 4. I have a friend who would disagree with me, because a friend of mine thinks that he's a great guitar player, but that he's not a great songwriter. I tend to disagree. I think he's a brilliant songwriter. Granted, he's wrote and he's written some songs that I'm not crazy about. But then again, most people who I really like have, even I have, well, most of my stuff's like that. He has some great songs. I mean, come on. Or and there's a ton of those, and even this one. it's a nice little boogie ditty, but he's done some great ballads and some immensely complex stuff and some great simple stuff as well. True mark of a great songwriter, in my opinion. Yes, number 5. It's almost the halfway point. Or is it the halfway point? I can't read. Yes, it's bends. Because he doesn't just bend a note, he can also bend a note really weirdly. And this is where I throw in something that I don't actually have on the list, but that I should actually have. It's Whammy Bar Work, because he does a ton of bends with the whammy bar as well. He bends a lot of notes with the whammy bar. Okay, he does other stuff with the whammy bar as well, real weird stuff. But bending is one of his strengths, and it's brilliant. And I'll throw in here his vibrato as well, because it's really weird. It's like a circle. I'm not even going to attempt to do that because it's so weird. But number 5 is bends. Number 6, the sheer amount of sounds that he gets from a guitar. Oh, that's like 4 easy ones, and he does stuff that I don't understand how he does it, but he gets an insane amount of sounds from just your regular old electric guitar. Number 7, he's very open to different kinds of music, and this again goes up there with the humor bits, because I think this is something that we all would benefit from. Being open to loads of different types of music can really help you as a musician and as a guitar player, and he's certainly open to tons of stuff. He's open to musical stuff, he's open to Led Zeppelin, rock and roll, heavy metal, and I mean, it's exemplified with the fact that he took Devin Townsend in as his singer, which shows an openness to a different type of thing. Yeah, he's very open to all sorts of stuff. Number 8, constant change. He has his sound. He's always had his sound, but even though he has his sound, he's always changed. No two records have been alike, and that's something that makes him interesting to listen to in the long term. Most people who just do one thing tend to become boring quite quickly, or at least after a while. Notable exceptions would be maybe Yngwie Malmsteen. Off the top of my head, that's the only one I can come up with. But Yngwie stayed pretty much the same. But Stevie Vai took a different route, and he's so good, and he's evolved and he's changed stuff all the time. Partly, I think, because it keeps him interested in what he's doing as well. Number 9. Yes, sheer technique and sheer command of the instrument. He boggles the mind. But then again, he did practice for, what was it, like 10, 14 hours per day at some point. So it's no surprise he has great technique, but he has it in bucket loads. Okay, next up we have number 10, but that's not the last one. I'm saving the best one for last. But number 10 is that he's just a nice guy. I've met him, he was super nice. He was super nice to Brad, who took part in the Guitar Gods competition 2016 as well. But basically every account that I've read or heard, everyone thinks he's a very nice person. I've heard him called shy, but once you get to know him, he's super nice and intelligent. And think that's a great trait in any musician. There's no need to be an idiot just because you're good. And Stevie Vai seems to be a very, very nice guy. Then we have number 11, which is kind of a bonus, but which I think really puts him one step above where he would be otherwise, and that's the fact that he's actually a teacher as well. He doesn't do the regular teaching stuff where he teaches you licks and stuff. Or I don't know. I think he has guitar students as well, or has had. But I've been to one of his clinics, and it was real different. Okay, he played a couple of songs and that, but mostly just talked about the mental approach to the whole thing. And he had a kind of really clear, very easy to follow, very inspirational way of speaking, and it all made perfect sense. The one thing that he spoke probably most about when I saw him was that when you do something, you succeed at it, you develop a kind of momentum of enthusiasm, which then leads to passion later on. So that you have to keep going for a while, and then you develop a bit of enthusiasm, and that kind of generates momentum. And also he spoke about imagining what it is that you're going for, actually envisioning it and aiming for that. So, and he did it in a way which was really accessible and really well thought out, and just darn it, he was good. So that's kind of my number 11, him being a teacher. Okay, so those were some of the points why I think Steve Vai is one of the absolute greats in among guitar players. I guess I could have mentioned more stuff, and I think you could help me with that in the comments. So that's basically all I have for you today. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it. And like I said, comment, let me know what I forgot, or if there's something you disagree with, or whatever. I like coffee. Do you? Subscribe if you haven't, and hit that bell notification button, and support me on Patreon. Not just because you're supporting me, but because you get a bunch of exclusive stuff that's not available anywhere else, and you get my music as well when you do. And if you want free music, you can check out my website. The link's in the description below. So that's all I have for you today. I'm going to end with a bit of Steve Vai inspired playing. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you in another one. Take care. Goodbye.